Continuing on with Digital Trends Live, though, we've got some more to talk about. So joining us right now, we have Habib, who is the co-founder and CEO of Writer. And what we're going to talk about is AI also in this aspect and how it can help out all kinds of companies. And May, thank you so much for being here. And I thought maybe to start off, you could tell us a little bit about why you wanted to found this company.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. The ways in which we communicate have such a broad impact beyond what it is that we're actually saying. And despite all of these tools that we have at work to make our jobs easier, especially for marketers, especially for comms people, there's still a gap when it comes to what are we actually saying to our customers? What are we saying to each other? And is this on brand for who we are as a company? And that was the niche that we wanted Writer to fill.
Well, and right now, that's such an important thing, too, as we see so many changes and cultural sensitivity being brought to the light. How is it that this can actually help out with those things for companies?
Yeah. So we are a writing assistant. We sit in somebody's browser and we give them helpful hints when they're writing. And that can be everything from your basic grammar and spelling to indicators when they really could be writing something that someone could find offensive. And in the inclusion and sensitivity space, that has become something that has drawn a lot of customers to our product. So many companies are and have made statements that they are allies to the Black community, for example, or the LGBTQ community, but their brand and the culture actually has to follow, or those statements are pretty hollow. D&I efforts are going to fail if employees don't feel like they belong. And the language that we actually use internally and externally helps create those kinds of inclusive environments.
It's so important. And like you said, yeah, if it's not on point, it does come across as hollow and people aren't following along. Going from there, and looking at this, how is it that companies can take advantage of this? And maybe if you wouldn't mind, showcase a couple of success stories too that you've had.
Yeah, definitely. We have been so surprised at the speed at which some of these things have gone mainstream. So, for example, capitalizing B in Black when it comes to the Black community. That is such an important thing. The New York Times made that switch. AP made that switch. But it, has traditionally taken years for kind of avant-garde language usage to actually become mainstream. And with a tool like Writer, that is accelerated. And so, I think that is a great example. We have also been surprised at the speed at which really big companies, we're talking like the Walmarts of the world wanting to go gender neutral in their content. So that's gender neutral pronouns, gender neutral nouns. Companies are really trying to do the right thing when it comes to the ways that they communicate and making sure that they're walking the talk when it comes to inclusion. We have seen tech companies go above and beyond, companies like Twitter, companies like Intuit, in really taking a hard look at themselves and the language they've been using and really changing that. In technology, it's very common to think about and talk about and write things like master and slave when it comes to the way certain technologies work together. If you are trying to allow something or deny something, we use language like whitelist and blacklist. Those are very common in product interfaces, not to mention some of the corporate jargon that just rolls off our tongue, man hours, sanity checks, dummy values. And these can be really offensive terms. And so we have seen some incredibly forward-thinking product and content teams embrace inclusive language really wholeheartedly. And tools like Writer certainly make that possible. Most end users want to be doing the right thing, but if they don't know what the alternative is, then that's quite difficult. And that's where a tool like ours comes in. I'm still surprised at, I can open up the New York Times and they'll still in a lead refer to an alcoholic, and we just don't use that language anymore. That is a person with a substance abuse disorder, right? And this is a news article. So it takes too long for some of this language to become mainstream without AI, without the help of AI, even when people are really well intentioned.
I love this kind of use of technology and what you've done with this, because you're right. I mean, a lot of that, whether it's ignorance or just not understanding, or just somebody who is not educated in it, this is something that could actually help out that and make things more inclusive for everybody. I love it. Well, for everybody out there, where can we direct them to take advantage of what you've got here?
Oh, thanks so much. So we are at writer.com, and we've got a free trial. We're also very happy to hop on and show people how the technology works. And it really is an important thing. And the ways in which, we have created a world where this stuff is not, embraced. We can undo a lot of this through our language. So we'd love to help.
Great. May, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate talking to you and kind of telling us about all of this and what you've done. Congratulations on the success. Well deserved. And thanks for being here on Digital Trends Live.
Thanks for having me.